You know, today's gospel makes me understand the expression, his heart is in the right place. Isang idiomatic expression yun. And it is understood to mean, well, meron siyang good intentions in spite of his flaws and imperfections. Or he has shortcomings, but he is sincere. Sincere naman siya. And well-meaning. His heart is in the right place. We are still reading from the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew. And in today's gospel, Jesus says, where your treasure is, there also your heart must be. What does he mean? Well, Jesus is telling his disciples that a human person's heart should beat only for people and never for things or material possessions. You don't love money and use people. Baliktad. You use money and love people. To set your heart on passing things, especially money, is wrong. And that's when you have your heart in the wrong place. There is still a second analogy in the gospel. This time, tungkol naman sa mata, the eye. It makes us understand another expression. The eyes thou are the windows of the soul. The windows of the soul. You want to know what is inside a person. It's not enough to listen to his words or to interpret his body language. Look instead into the eyes, into the person's eyes. It is through the eyes that we are able to get a glimpse of what is in the heart. Kaya nga siguro, si Nora Honor, she was regarded as an excellent actress. Kasi she can express her deepest emotions through the eyes. Mata lang. Here, the gospel says, the eye is the lamp that brings light to the soul. But what can we do kung pundido yung ilaw? Ilaw daw ang mata natin, kung pundido. What can we do when the lamp is busted? Then, it gets really dark inside. Sa bansang Myanmar, the old Burma, bibenta sila ng little amulet-looking ceramic pendants with the design of an eye. May mata sa gitna. And they call it a charm or a protection. Protection daw from the evil eye. In our own culture, maybe this is what we call usog. Kasi titignan ka lang, mauusog ka. They say with one look of an evil eye, they can get you sick. And so sometimes we warn people in Tagalog, makuha ka sa tingin, ha? Or in English, they also say this, if looks can kill, you would long have been dead. Dalawang symbols from the gospel, heart and eye. And I think these two symbols are related. The eye can only bring light to the soul if the heart is in the right place. Di ba ganito yung sinabi nung the fox to his good friend, the little prince? Madalas i-quote sa mga beauty pageant. It is only with the heart that one can see clearly what is essential is invisible to the eye. And so if the heart is full of hatred and resentment, if we are full of fears and anxieties inside, or of envy and jealousy, what do you expect the eye to see? The eye will not see blessings to be grateful for. The eye will not see God's hand at work in everyday life. The eye will direct the soul to become hateful, resentful, and envious. Namimili din ng matitignan ng mata. Depende sa puso. Very much like the characters that we heard about sa ating first reading. And you know, parang gusto kong takpan ng tenga ko while I was listening to that first reading. Shockingly violent. Tungkol sa power struggles in the royal families of ancient Israel and Judah about what happened after the 70 sons of King Ahab, 70 princes, were beheaded. And their heads were put inside baskets and delivered to the king. And then we heard about the murder of the relatives of Ahaziah and the gruesome massacre of the priests and prophets of Baal, and about the queen mother herself, Athaliah, ordering the death of the rest of the royal family. Puro siya patayan. I tell you, there is also a lot of violence in the Bible. I could not even get myself to answer nung sabihin ng lector the word of the Lord. I couldn't say thanks be to God. Very disgusting passage, no? Puro patayan, puro dugo, puro hatred. But I think the moral is simple. We must take care to make sure that our hearts are in the right places if we want our eyes to give light to our souls and not condemn us to a life of darkness.